Hello, it's me again, Old Mickey. I imagine if you saw that first video, you realize that I timed myself out on the deadline at the end of 5 minutes and didn't finish what I was saying. So let me pick up where I left off. I was talking about self-publishing through Amazon and Amazon Kindle. It's for free, which is a big improvement over the other publishers that I dealt with, where I had to pay them money to get my words into print, and then they leave all the promotional things up to you entirely, and Page Publishing even leaves all the editorial things up to you entirely. So I have found so far that being a self-published author is superior to being part of a major publishing house, especially if you go the route of paid publication. What I did was I began by participating in writing contests. I went through the Chanticleer Review's young adult novel contest, which is called the Rossetti Awards for young adult novels. And the first year that I did that, back in 2012, I submitted this book. It's called Snow Babies. It's a book about orphans freezing to death in a blizzard, so, you know, it's a comedy. And I managed to do okay in that contest. I made the final round in the selection process, so I was a finalist. I did not, however, win the award. The year that I submitted this book, there was only one award available, and I missed out to another very good book, but that was encouraging. So I originally submitted this book to a small publisher that was not going to charge me any money. They were, it was called PDMI LLC. It was a publishing house that was privately owned and operated, run by a poet. And during the course of editing and working on this novel and preparing it for them to publish it, well, I guess I killed the publisher because they went out of business before my novel actually came to print. So that was a bit of a setback, but I went from there then to publishing books self-published. And so I used this book as one of the first two books that I published, my contest finalist. And I also used the sequel to Catch a Falling Star, which is called Stardusters and Space Lizards. This book is takes some of the same characters from that first book and takes them into outer space. It's both the Tellerons that invaded Iowa and failed. They're basically frog people from outer space. And the humans that went with them, there's a farm couple that tried to adopt an alien boy, and they got turned into kids and sent into outer space. And they end up on the planet of the lizard people. And these lizard people are going through an environmental crisis. So in many ways, this book is a satire about global warming. And so Stardusters and Space Lizards is a cautionary tale that includes an opportunity for me to make fun of Texas politicians by recasting them as Galtorian lizard people from outer space. And I continued to submit to contests. The book I showed you in the last video, the one about the school teacher, Magical Miss Morgan. That one was also a finalist in that same contest for Chanticleer Reviews. It didn't do quite as well as the first one, however, because there were more categories, more prizes available within the young adult novel contest, and I still managed to not win a prize. But then I proceeded to publish some other things that I just wanted to get published. The very first novel that I ever wrote is Super Chicken. Super Chicken, for those who know me and went to high school with me, know is actually my own nickname. But this is a fictionalized version, not of me, but of a kid going through being the new kid in town, in a small Iowa town, and learning to live with the many ups and downs of making friends, even making friends with a pair of twin girls who are nudists. That was kind of exciting. Oh, I'm supposed to disclaim that none of these things are based on real life. And I also published another book called The Bicycle Wheel Genius, which is about time travel and turning people into rabbits and other very serious scientific things. I followed up with a pair of books that both tell different sides of the same story. The first one of those that I published is called Recipes for Gingerbread Children, and that book is about a little old German lady who survived World War II and came to our little town in Iowa to live after in the 1970s. That book happens at the same time and contains some of the same story elements as this book, The Baby Werewolf. This book is my attempt at a horror novel. It is also a humor novel, so it's not entirely serious. The baby werewolf in the title is somebody who has hypertrichosis, a hair disease that makes hair grow everywhere, the same as the circus freak Jojo the dog-faced boy that P.T. Barnum made famous. So it's a real condition, and it isn't really werewolfism, but there is some evil in this book, and it is a horror story. So, I am not sure that I am still recording, or if I got those in before the deadline that I set up on this, but I actually finished the video. Okay. See you next time.